Are we going?
Welcome.
Yeah,
Oh shit, we're going.
Welcome.
of course we're on.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bonfire Session. It's me, your boy Kaz. I'm joined with AC. Say hello.
Hey.
4K.
Hey.
BigMoment.
What the fuck?
We don't know what that was from him, but
And Silver.
Howdy.
So basically, at the Bonfire Session, we're just gonna talk about shit, chat shit up, give you facts. We're gonna look for nothing but facts here. All right, nothing but facts.
Cold, hard facts.
Facts.
life.
Facts
So-
that are objectively right, you know.
Facts that are factual.
Facts that just make sense. All right. So, anyways, does anyone want to start us off?
Anyone have a question? 'Cause
Start us off?
I mean, I can start us
I've
off
got
for you
one.
right now. Yeah.
This is. I got a quick little
Okay.
brain bender here. I got a quickie. All right.
Oh.
If you may have heard this before, but I don't think I've directly asked you guys the question. But if you come in space, does it push you backwards?
So you're asking me if you
I
asked.
don't think so.
Well, Newton's law dictates that every action has an equal and opposite reaction.
You may move slightly,
So-
but not enough to affect you like a lot.
That is a
Technically-
good question.
I mean, I guess if you
You're
have-
talking about
I'm
like
kind of
thrusters in
curious,
place,
like if you
push
had
you to the
nothing around
Yeah.
you to stop you, would you constantly accelerate after that come too?
Yeah, like if you're in a zero G atmosphere, yeah, I mean it'd be small, but you'd be moving.
You'd be
be
moving, and then over time, since there's no nothing
restrained.
stopping you from accelerating from that too, you would actually accelerate over time.
See,
What the fuck? So I guess in theory, yeah, if you come in space, it does move you backwards.
you will be shot out.
And if you have
into
no
space
re-
slowly
yes,
your own-
very, very slowly.
Man,
by
just
your
say
own.
you better have good aim.
Yeah.
Yeah, you better got good aim.
Don't aim for the sun.
Yeah.
Aim towards the sun.
be right back. I'm gonna go come on the sun.
The safest way to
Follow-up
That's
question.
No.
This one goes a little bit further.
All right.
No.
If we had every human, like male, on Earth,
Mm.
come in one direction,
It would not
Mm.
push the Earth. It would
Like,
not
stop it
push the
rotating.
planet.
Yeah, I don't think.
It would
think
not
we could
push
do
the
it.
planet.
Tilt the axis back to north.
No.
Hey,
Gotta
you
get-
never know.
On a specific
don't know
date,
until we
at
try.
a specific time, everyone busts out their protractors and lines your dick up and fucking. All right, boys.
For some people, they'll just be
Go
doing it
ahead.
straight at the ground. Some people will be doing it at like a 30-degree angle towards the ground.
So I've never thought about that before, but I have thought about if everyone on the planet jumped at the same time, we would
Mm,
probably feel something.
We probably would.
Because there's billions of 100-pound people on the planet.
dude, there's billions of
That's
500
trillions of
pound people on
pounds.
on the planet. They just can't jump.
They just can't jump.
We'd have to help them because they're very important in this experience.
Yeah, they're the ones providing most of the stuff here in this, most of the mass here in this thought
We're
experiment. To be
getting most
blunt.
of our information from them.
Yeah.
Bruh,
Oh my
dead
goodness.
ass. The
There are
500 pound dude.
seismic
Oh my god.
barometers.
The 500 pound dude of the town, and they hook him up to a fucking bungee cord, and they're like, they just shoot him up. He hits the ground. Literally.
Just slaps the crap.
They have to time everybody with him.
It's a reverse. Oh, speaking of bungee cords, reverse. Think of like like bungee jumping where you jump off. what if you hook yourself to like where you're gonna jump off to, get in a helicopter, and the helicopter stretches the bungee cord out, and you jump out of the helicopter, and the bungee cord slings you down and then back up. You get like added momentum by getting pulled down.
Bro, that I would shit my pants.
Well, you wouldn't. You would get added momentum, but only to a certain point, because
I'm
This is
terminal
true.
sure
velocity.
it will break your back.
Dude, I'm pretty
Yeah, I
sure
was
you're
gonna
gonna
say-
get like instant vertigo.
I'm pretty
Instantaneous
sure that
vertigo.
Not
like
just that,
say you
probably
were going
spinal nerve.
down, say you were going down, like the bungee cord was attached at like your hip or something. Like as soon as you hit like where it's gonna fucking
Go
like
back
where
up.
Yeah.
What
once
if
you
they
get
did-
down to like its lowest point, you have so much force going onto that thing. It's either gonna stretch and you feel nothing, then get slingshotted back upwards, or it's gonna cut you in half.
What about
Yeah, there's no-
horizontal bungee jumping with that?
Give me in a slingshot, literally shooting someone.
Basically, you shoot someone from one side to the other in the back.
Oh, okay.
There's a better way to do that. It's called a zip line.
Can I tell you guys the answer?
Go
It
for it.
says because people are spread somewhat equally around the planet's spherical surface. If we all
Somewhat.
jumped in one place, nothing much would happen. All our liftoffs and impacts would cancel each other out, resulting in zero net force on the Earth, according to work by physicist Rhett Allen.
Well,
So
listen
we
here,
all have
Rhett
to-
Allen.
Listen here, Rhett Allen. I only
What I-
believe that if there's an even amount of people. If you have an odd number of people, one person's gonna fuck it up. Then the whole thing is gonna be uneven.
Bro, fucking
True.
everyone will jump and then we'll do the slingshot with the fat dude.
No.
Oh, it'll be the imbalance.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, if there's an even number
And
of
what,
people, they
create a
counteract
nuclear
each other.
bomb
But if there's
in
an
one
odd
spot?
number of people, like, fucking one person's gonna set off the fucking chain.
True.
And
Yeah,
then
it's a
every
nuclear bomb. On
And
the
then
ground.
whoop-de-doo, the Earth's orbit is no longer spherical.
Elliptical.
hey, remember that time that Tom fucked up the atmosphere?
Oh,
just-
my god.
Oh,
2021.
Okay, I'm gonna hit y'all with the question.
Do it.
Will we keep
Alright.
leaping to even greater technological and scientific breakthroughs that radically change society, or will the rate of progress slow and humanity's progress be limited to incremental improvements?
I think it'll be like a staggered sort of progression. Like look from like the notwithstanding like the atom bomb, but like look from like the technological advancements from like the 50s to the 70s. Like technology was improving, but the only thing that changed was like mainly safety technologies in cars and just the
Weaponry.
start of weaponry and color television was like all that really happened. But
And
once-
like being able to fucking like quadruple fucking like quadruple the amount of like bandwidth you can shove through a tube and light.
yeah, but like I think it's gonna go in spurts because like we had like the rise of like the internet and the smartphones, right? And that all happened like very, very fast, but we're kind of plateaued right now.
Yeah, it's getting to
But
the
I
point
think-
where like
I'd say we're
budget
still at
phones
a
are meeting up
incline.
with like high end phones.
Yeah,
You're kind of seeing that now with like the phone industry. The kind of like rapid acceleration. Then now it's plateauing.
Yeah, but I think in the years to come, with the rise of stuff like AI and stuff like VR and that sort of stuff, like just now starting to really ramp up, I think there's going to be a big rush to get on top of that stuff, and we'll see like the headsets, like the VR headsets and like the Google assistants now are going to be nothing compared to what they're going to be in 10 years.
We're literally
think
just
all
gonna
that-
have like a
all
Siri
that's-
inside your eye.
Look at
Ye-
look
Yeah,
at the VR systems that they had 20 years ago.
yeah. I
because
mean,
they had them
everything's
back then, so it's like
yeah, like everything's improving all the time. It's just like I think it'll be spurts. Like I don't think we'll hit a point where we'll
We'll
not
just
be able to advance anymore with what we have on this planet. Yeah, I mean, I think we will, but I think that point is like way far off that it's not even really worth thinking
Yeah.
about.
well, because of a lot of our technological advancements actually do come from man-made objects
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
materials, so they're not
Here-
even necessarily like formed on Earth. We just form them from materials from the Earth. So
Yeah.
Here's a question
that's
from
mining.
Interstellar that kind of relates to that and like space-ish. I remember in the movie Interstellar, there was a quote. He said, humans were born on Earth, but we weren't meant to die here." Do you ever think that like the Earth, we should actually like try and save it, or should at some point it becomes like not usable? Should we try and again save it or move on to somewhere else?
I mean,
I
saving
think.
it would be
Go ahead.
saving it would be the most like beneficial thing.
But what if it's the
Because, like,
hardest option?
It probably will be. You know what? Like, we're sucking this planet dry of everything now as it is, and we're already seeing problems with global warming. But it's like, if we could save this planet somehow, will it be hard? Yes. But we're going on based off of a movie here. Okay?
Oh,
So, like,
it's just
it's
a hypothetical.
It is a hypothetical, and hypothetically, if we're going based off of a movie, because it's a question from a movie, everything on other planets wants to kill you. Like, it doesn't matter where you go. You're
Well,
always
I
gonna
mean,
find a planet that wants to kill you.
I was
yeah,
about
but
to say, it's
that
the
was
same here. So
that was Earth initially too. Everything wanted to
Yeah.
kill us, and we got to this point.
I mean,
everything still wants to kill us.
I don't
We
remember
just
what
can't
period it
see
was.
this everything all the
Yeah,
time.
I don't remember what period it was, but it was like before the Jurassic period. All the bugs that we have now, they were the size of buses. They were huge because there was so much oxygen on this planet.
so it's the bugs' fault.
You could say that, I guess.
The
But,
I
bugs
mean,
took all
I
the
guess so.
but I think that it's a good idea to save the planet for as long as we can, because it's going to take a long time before we can find a habitable planet if we were to do that.
Well, I mean, like, well, no,
Finding a
I'm
habitable planet and
talking in
actually
like the
getting there is one thing.
I'm talking in like the far future. Like we have the technology to get to like other galaxies, like really like warp through it, so there's no like
Wait.
there's not like you're gonna go there and you're gonna be dead just for the travel
Yeah.
time.
I
Like
think that
say like
cool.
we already have that. We already have the ability to get there, have the ability to fucking do all of that. Would we want to do that or try and save this?
So, like, should humanity die here or should it die elsewhere?
Sort of. Yeah.
I think both. I think we should try.
we
Why
can
not?
always try.
I'm sure there's people out there that are down to go push that frontier.
Like, obviously, we have people who want to go to Mars.
It's the final frontier. We
No,
haven't
it's
been
the
there yet.
next frontier.
There is no final
be-
frontier.
You're right.
Only ever expanding.
It's the next frontier until the one after
True.
that. I just read a question that
And-
Final
says, should
frontier is when there's
euthanization
the last flash
Oh.
of the light.
Now here's
That's
here's
not for trillions of years.
here's
Yeah.
an even bigger question that sort of relates to that. How would you get everybody's how would you get everyone in the world to agree to do one of those options? Try and save it or try and move on?
it's gonna
Because
depend
to
on
be
the
honest,
government at that
doing
time.
something like that, like you would have to get like the entire globe like agreed on it, and we can't even agree on trying to fix the planet now.
Well, like think back when like the space race was coming, was ramping up, like respectively in their different countries. The United States and the USSR were entirely unified behind the space program, and everyone there. It was like a sin not to be to have NASA's back and to to not want to try to make it to the moon. And I think if that day ever comes, I think we'll reach a point. Either we'll be there again, where the country will be unified towards that single goal, or we're gonna rip each other apart. There's gonna be no in between. There's gonna be no in between at all.
Well,
What the fuck? This question's insane.
well,
Oh, no.
you have to imagine back then too. Like if people like today were even like remotely the same as back then, like you had people
Oh yeah.
like doubting like well, why the fuck should we be backing them? Like, why the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, just trying to get like everybody agreed onto one topic,
I
No.
like
think
onto one opinion, or just agree on one thing.
Yeah, I don't think anyone should be forced to leave the planet. Like, if you were born here and you want to die here, that's cool. But there's people that want to leave, and I think those people should have the choice.
yeah, it's
What
like
if it's just like this huge ship that like you either get on it or you don't, and like the sun's
Yeah.
gonna go out in 100 years? Like, do you want your kids to die here, or do you want to have kids?
it's like, do you want to be
Like, a
here?
lot of
when that
people are
happens?
choosing not to have children because they don't want them to come into this. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on, but
Yeah.
I don't know. That's another topic.
It is.
I mean,
That's for sure.
I'm gonna hit y'all with this question because it just made me think like really fucking hard.
Okay.
It's a long one.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Is the concept of you is the concept of you continuous, or does past you continually fade into present and future you? In other words, what part of you sticks around over time, considering that the atoms that make up your body are constantly being replaced and your memories are always changing?
What makes up you? Like,
So,
I'm
Repeat the first line.
okay, so let's put it this way. There's now, there's past, and there's future.
Yeah.
Which of those three is continuously around? Is it past you, future you, or you now?
Past you, because
Go ahead.
if someone remembers you for something that you did in their life, like,
That'd be
that's
past.
always gonna live on. Like, they might tell their kids about that, and then their kids might tell their kids. So, like, I don't know. I think personally, I think the past. I don't know.
I think it's all three.
yeah, same.
Because
Yeah.
because your memories and who you were is affecting you, who you are in the present. Like, where you've come from dictates a lot about you, but it's also like where you're going and what goals you're setting for yourself. Depending
I
on what goals you're setting for yourself, you can be changing yourself to try to meet those goals and try to not necessarily become a different person. Like, you may not be trying to do that, but depending on what you're trying to do with your life, that may be changing who you are in a way you may not even realize. And then I think present you is just a combination of those two and where you are currently.
well,
See-
that kind of makes me like think like I just agree with you that that you're all three, but like now I'm sort of thinking like you're just the present and the past, because you can't like, you can make goals like in the future, like, oh, I'm gonna do this by then, but until you
No, that's
actually do
true.
them, it doesn't happen.
But
It never will happen until you do it, and and just like things can change.
well,
Things
like
are always
like
changing. Like,
look at like
And wouldn't
breaking
that be
like
all of
g-
them being not consistent?
well, like look at like let's take what's a good example of this, what I'm trying to say here. Oh, let's take like Walter White from Breaking Bad, for instance. Like
You're watching Breaking Bad, aren't you?
I've
Are you in the
I've seen,
process?
oh no,
Hmm.
I've seen the show a couple times.
That's a good example.
I'm just gonna flatly say out, I've not watched Breaking Bad.
Well,
Don't spoil
I won't spoil it for you, but like let's take Walter White, for instance. Like let's do like season 1 version of him before he gets all weird. Like, let's say like his past is affecting who he is in the present. Like, not getting credited for his work, not being where he wants to be in life. He has this dissatisfaction that's gnawing at him in the sense of a loss of control that is only amplified by the events of the present him, which is namely the lung cancer diagnosis.
Then therefore, wouldn't the past affect the future too?
Well, you just
past-
you
the
could
past
say
Not
that,
consistent.
but like
I would-
his goals and what his motives are throughout the show are what eventually change him, and like the past him is still there, but it slowly gets chipped away episode by episode as his goals, namely to make money for his family, transform him into this monster that only sees money and power. He stops becoming what he used to be to become something else for what he wants. He sort of sacrifices a bit of what he was and what he is now to be something in the future. And even if it doesn't work out, that change is still there and it's still prevalent throughout the show. That's kind of my like example on that, is like your future goals dictate a lot about what you want to do, even if they don't work out, because what you want to do in the future, you set yourself up for that, even if in the end it just all falls through. And even if it does fall through, that changes you too.
That's true. I mean, I see it as it's the future that's always around.
That's true.
It's like the future. Okay, this is me now. No, that was me like a couple of seconds ago. The future is always going to be there. You always have to come in contact with the future. It doesn't matter how long it is. The you from 5 seconds ago isn't the you now,
That's the past.
and it continues like that. So
Yeah, the
I would
future is always growing, the present is always growing, and the past is always growing, which is kind of crazy.
so we've
It's a
come to the
constant hard
conclusion.
drive transfer.
So we've come to the conclusion that they're all here in a different way. So in one way there's one, and another way there's another.
Pretty much.
Well, holy
Which then
shit!
it almost cancels it all out, which
Well, holy shit!
means that it's like,
I want to hear another trippy question because that was a good
yeah,
one.
Okay, let me find us one.
I'm liking these questions, making my brain hurt in a good way.
making our brains melt.
Making my brain work out.
Okay, I got one.
Okay.
Your perception of the world is just what your brain constructs for you from the signals sent by your senses. Plus, there is a slight delay, so you aren't even experiencing the simulation in real time. What would it be like if humans could perceive what the world is actually like and do it in real time? Also, what are the ramifications of every single person's reality being a little different and unique of them to them?
I think mental illness
Colors
is
probably would be different.
yeah. Yeah.
Wait, what?
No, he's got a point.
Wait, what'd
yeah,
you
like,
say?
colors would be different. Like colorblind
Yeah.
people, like
Yeah.
should
Because
be.
of the factor that if we're all sensing or sensing everything instantaneously, then
Oh shit.
think about that. That's light speed.
Yeah.
Bro, lights are changing, smells are changing, tastes are changing. Everything's changing. Holy shit, bro.
The
Damn.
whole thing.
Damn, you
Yeah.
just made Kaz have an existential crisis from one sentence.
Holy shit. Dude,
All from
everything
the words
you
colors change.
Oh, bro, if you take this real in depth, everything you know could be a lie.
Absolutely.
Holy
Well,
fuck.
technically, if we could perceive light speed, we wouldn't see anything. We
That
wouldn't
is
exist.
true.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, if we could see light speed, we wouldn't be looking at all the stuff we're looking at right now.
No, it would just
We'd
be. It would
be
just light.
moving.
We would be
Yeah.
light.
Yeah.
So therefore, that's what it is. It's just we're
There's
light.
no way to see it light
It's
speed
that way.
unless you are light speed.
That's a quote.
Yeah.
There's no way to see at light speed unless
gotta
you
put- you
are
gotta
light
put-
speed.
Underneath
Kaz.
forklift.
That was a really good question.
Forklift,
was.
theoretical
I-
physicist.
I've got
I don't like this laugh.
here's a more like non-existential question, but we can keep this going for a bit.
Okay.
Should full access to the internet be a fundamental human right?
But yes. Hell
Mm.
fucking yes.
Hold
That
on.
people need to know
No,
all that
no.
information.
No, not. There's some people in the world that would do better without internet.
Indeed,
For
but
Oh,
there's
yeah, for
also
sure.
there's also some people in the world who do better without alcohol or the ability to drive. But here we are.
Yes.
very true.
See, I have agreements and disagreements upon it because of the factor that it allows people to invade our own privacy, but also allows us not to have our own privacy at the exact same time. So it allows people to do what they do with social media now and what Facebook used to do.
I think there's a lot of like I don't know. There's too much. There's too
Because
much
think about it, that was
information.
already there. And then all of a sudden, there was all the UN court issues with the law of the internet, and now the internet isn't run the way it used to be.
Well, to be fair, the
Everything's
internet used to
controlled.
be just an email system.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then it was transformed into what it was, and nobody put laws or restrictions around it, which is
Mhm.
what it became, and then it was split off in the
I don't
past
know.
20 years, I think.
Yeah, roughly.
It,
Yeah.
it was split off between the internet as what we know and the dark web.
How
Mhm.
how much do you think the internet and the world around us would be changed if like the politicians like had kept pace with the tech giants? Like, cause
The
right now they're playing
internet.
a game of catch up, and like the tech giants are like just this like big giant that like the puny peasants are coming down to asking for change.
The way
Yeah.
I look at it as is they had no chance.
The internet would be a lot more controlled.
Like if the
Do you think
government
there would still be free
had
speech?
a chance, there would be
No,
no free
I
Do you
speech.
really.
think do
Yeah.
you think there would
No.
still be free speech?
No.
No, I really don't. No. I think. I mean, we're already starting to see it with the internet. It's getting a lot more controlled, a lot more regulated, a lot more like
Anytime a government gets
constricted.
involved, free speech dies.
Which yeah, that's 100% true. I think like the reason I think the internet should be free for all and no one should have like be denied access to it is there's too much info. Even if there may be not somebody who like should probably be on the internet, that's like what's going to
It's
happen
still
is
a
what's going to
human
happen.
right.
Yeah, it's still
I
it still should be a human right. Like there's too
Yeah.
much information on the internet to
not
block that
allowing
off.
it.
Yeah, to not allow access to however many people you want to deny access to. Like the internet's too powerful of a tool, especially in today's day and age, to be denying that to people. It's got too much information.
Yeah, it's like a
It's too much of a commodity, and it's too much of
yeah.
no. It's too much
Everyone
of a
who's
necessity
existed
now.
has
Like
built it to be an educational tool. So
yeah, like imagine not having a smartphone, like just getting showed up. You're 20 something. You just got dropped into today's day and age, and you don't have a smartphone. Like who are you? Like you have nothing at that point. You have no way to contact anybody. No one knows how to get a hold of you.
Well, you would still have
Mail,
you would still
paper
have a
mail.
con you would still yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you still have like a means of contact, like the mail.
It's true, but like you're so hampered by
You're
not having
limiting
a
yourself to what you
yeah
can do in a day.
yeah you're limiting yourself by a huge margin. Like the internet has streamlined so much
well,
shit
it's
that
the same thing when you look at like somebody who's from the 60s.
Yeah,
No, they
that's
would
what I
not
was
be
gonna
able to
say.
keep up with anybody nowadays with our technological
Yeah, like
advancements.
I have a lot of friends that deleted their Instagrams and their Snapchats and everything, and they kept Facebook, but that's because of like concerts and stuff. But they they completely disconnect from the internet. The only way they get their info is from YouTube, which has its good stuff and bad stuff. But the way they told me was like, um, people have been people have been doing this for hundreds of years. They didn't have internet for hundreds of years, and they wrote songs and told stories and created things without the internet. and it
Mhm.
can be used as a tool, but I don't think everyone needs to use it. Like I feel
No,
like there's
like
a lot of
everyone.
people that would choose not to.
Yeah,
But
and I think like forcing the internet down everyone's throats would
yeah,
be a bad idea. But I think that's the
Obviously.
way it's going, whether we like it or not.
yeah,
And
and
I
but I
don't
do
agree
think it
with
is a
that.
right. I think it's a human right. We should be able
I
to have.
I don't agree with the
access.
factor that they're trying to like change the internet to only be an educational tool.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I get that's what they originally wanted it to be, but I'm sorry, it was
It's
built
become so much more than that.
afterwards. Yeah, exactly. It was developed by not one person. It was developed by the human race.
Yeah.
It wasn't developed over time by one person. I'm sorry.
The World Wide Web.
Yeah.
WWW.
So
So, I got a really long one. This is all about reality.
Oh, sick.
Oh Lord.
I'm ready.
we like defying that.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
time is it? I think I'm ready.
Oh
2:12 in the morning here. I'm
It's
ready.
It is 5:12 in the morning.
Oh, we're
Yep.
all at,
I am ready.
we're
Yep,
in the
let's do
perfect
it.
hour.
So, as more and more is being discovered about quantum physics, we become less and less able to comprehend the nature of reality. Is this something temporary, and our minds will adapt and begin to understand this new reality? Or is it possible that the human mind will soon reach its limit of comprehension? If it's only temporary, is there a limit to what the human mind can comprehend? If we're reaching our limits, how do we continue to study our reality?
That's a lot of
I-
questions, but
I-
Okay, so first question is where was it? I see it right here. So is this something temporary? Are we at a point where we won't understand anymore about reality? This is our
oh,
limit.
okay. So
I
we've only really discovered like supposedly like a hundredth of reality so far. Like,
Exactly.
there's a lot of stuff we don't know.
And let me ask you, is this like something that boggles your mind? Like when
Yeah.
you hear people like, this is crazy.
Yeah,
No.
for sure.
I don't find that crazy that we can only conceive and comprehend that little of our own universe.
Well, yeah.
When
So we know.
only at the moment use at full capacity 10% of our brain most of the time.
Yes. So, like, let me ask you this: if you had no news whatsoever, at all, you still had like technology and cars and computers and stuff, but you had no internet. If you had a scientist come to you and be like, "Hey, we just found this shit. It's a whole ass other universe that we never knew of." Could you believe that?
if the
I
internet
could.
if the
If you
internet
had,
if the internet didn't exist, I would say yes because it's a scientist and they would have a degree, so I would trust the degree. But
okay,
the internet, I'm not
true.
gonna lie, has just like anytime that someone claims to be like a doctor or a scientist, now you've always got to treat it with a little bit of doubt.
Yeah, you always gotta have that grain of salt, because you know what
But
they say, you can never trust what you read online.
but yeah, just like say no internet, just someone coming up to me saying they're a doctor or that they've got a PhD. I'm gonna be like, hell yeah, I'll believe that.
Yeah.
But like the
See,
whole the other
I kind of
universe,
feel
I
like
would
that's propaganda, though. Is the everyone saying that you can only believe with a grain of salt what you see online?
Exactly.
Like
It's so
because of the factor everyone says it, but why are these people posting these kind of things if they
They
didn't
want
exist?
True.
they want views and
No, but like you get what I'm saying. Is like why would they want that much
Yeah.
views on it? Or why would they
gratification,
something
want?
that's not even
They-
accurate.
it's like these people are
gratification,
trying
reward.
gratification. Yes, they want reward, and they're just trying to build up this.
Yeah, there's
idea that
obviously
they
Recognition.
bad people, but what
Yeah.
I'm saying is it is also a thing that I feel like everyone over time has lost the thought of that everything's now you can take as everything's just a lie.
Yeah.
So
I don't-
like that, like, which brings into the whole conspiracy of like everyone freaking out how they are now with the governments and all that stuff.
Mhm.
It just doesn't make sense when there has been things completely worse in the past and nothing ever happened. They did nothing about it. They didn't care. They didn't say sorry. They didn't apologize. Why is it this way now when it was never the way it was before? And they actually allowed
I
I don't know.
hundreds of thousands
like-
of people to die, and we're
I-
scared
like-
of like a couple
like-
thousand.
Like staying on
God.
like getting on if you've ever been on Reddit for more than like 10 minutes,
oh lord.
you become like very aware of like
Yeah, but that's also
how
Reddit.
spooky the internet can be. And this is, I'm using Reddit as an example because it's by far the worst case of this
Well,
sort
it's
of problem.
the
4chan.
closest thing that you can get other than 4chan that
Well, no, see, here's
is
the here's
the
here's
side of the internet that is closest to the dark web that you don't want to.
well, no, like I'm
Yeah.
just talking about like shit that like you need to fact check because like
Oh yeah,
you'll get
obviously.
you'll pull up into like a comment section and there'll be like some dude being in there and be like, as a doctor, and this looks
See-
like a yada yada yada, and then you go check his comment post and he's got 8 other comments about how he's a veterinarian and a professional bike rider. I think the internet has given us way too many like tools to be able to lie about who we are and what we've done for either some like personal gratification or just to mess with other people, for us to be just reading something online and immediately going like, yeah, that seems legit. I think we're at a point on the internet where everything needs to be fact checked. Everything needs to be
Yeah,
like
which
taken with a grain of salt, which everything should be, but not a lot of people do that. And going back to what you were saying, some people take that way too far where they just don't trust anything.
yeah, and
where
that's
And
where
then
the
they
issues come along.
believe in conspiracy theories, which, to be
Yeah.
honest, conspiracy theories, like conspiracy theories, just in general, what I think they are. They're people. They're not people. They're theories that you're trying to fill a hole in. You're trying to fill a hole with something that you
Just has
like,
a hole in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Like
just
Yeah.
doesn't
like
make
like you're trying to
sense.
fill a
Yeah.
hole with something that doesn't need to be filled. Like it's already
Yeah.
like you're trying to put like the fucking star peg in like the circle hole.
Yeah. It's just
Like
some shit doesn't work out.
like the star like circle that's inside of it, it'll fit, but like you still got all the other extras, which are like the ideas, and they're just like not willing to take that, which
Well,
which
it's
that also
definitely
sort of makes me
conspiracies
think
on the back. In the
that
Okay,
that
I'm
that
gonna
also sort of
realize-
that sort of also makes me think of like people like that like reach their like mental capacity of like what they can believe and their understanding. So it's like say this person this person from this time can only believe so much, and then this person like born at another time can believe so much. Like going back to
Mhm.
what Kaz was saying, like do you think we'll ever reach a limit? I don't think we ever will, because everybody has their limit of what they can believe, and with more and more people being born and people believing stuff, it just sort of becomes like this stair step thing of like here's the limit, here's the minimum, where it's just like
Mhm.
you move up, staircasing up to like maybe this person's like maximum amount of like what they will like believe or understand is just this person's like basis of what they're starting on.
Yeah, and I think like eventually we'll reach a point where we'll be like biologically restricted on like how much we can keep track of, how much we can know, and how much we can learn, just by like the way that our brains are wired together. And I think at some point, maybe in our lifetime, maybe a little bit later, but I think AI will start to become merged with humanity in the same way that smartphones has. Like smartphones and the internet has drastically increased what humans can accomplish just on their own. and you put an omnipotent, all powerful computer system in there that knows all and sees all. God knows what we can accomplish, which is both, the possibilities are very alluring but also very scary, because you can do a lot of really, really amazing things with that, but you can also do some very controlling, big brothery type shit with that same sort of tech.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
that's
you,
like-
a slippery slope.
Chris, you definitely just answered the next question. If it's only temporary, is there a limit to what the human mind can comprehend? And I think you just hit that question like head on the nail.
I really do believe AI will,
I
for
it's-
better or worse, will soon enter humankind, and we will eventually either be forced to merge with machines and computers, or we will go to a more primitive, rural way of lifestyle, where either we cut out the internet entirely. Because I think when we created the internet, we opened a Pandora's box of bullshit.
now we can't.
that-
We literally can't go back.
we can't go back now. Like, we either have to go all the way in, or just throw the whole box away and just say fuck it, we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way. Like, I think we're at
Wait.
a point where we either need to go to one end of the scale or the other, because being in the middle is not going to work out.
Which, like, kind of like what I was saying, like that stair stepping thing. Like, you know how like one person can like only believe it so much. Like, fucking computers, they're like you give them like you tell them something, they'll automatically believe it, and that's just this, like, with AI, that's just like the scariest thing.
Mhm.
It's like
Yeah, like
Okay,
you could. It's
Like-
that's just,
like
alright, go ahead,
you
Kaz.
tell you tell like an AI something, there is no way of it discerning like whether it's true or not.
Yeah.
facts. Anyways, I'm hitting 4K with a pop-up question.
What's up, Zach?
He's just been
Pop
vibing.
quiz.
I
He's
saw
just-
your fucking mic muted, so I was like, fuck
Yeah.
it, I'm gonna hit him. So, top question. We just got done talking about reality and reality. I'm gonna throw existence in with it.
Oh
Okay.
Lord.
Your question is it possible for a human to fathom the true depths of reality and existence? That's a good answer.
For a human or for me?
It's just the start.
Okay, we're gonna start with you. Yes, you. We're going to
me?
you. Do you think you could fathom the 100% depth, going full in to reality and existence?
No, not me. I don't have enough time on this earth to fathom that much. There's
Okay, well, here, how about this? How much time do you think you'd need?
see, that's the thing, is like I don't know how much time it would take to
And I was
learn that much,
I was,
you
I
know?
was about to say, if you would have gave me a time, I would have said that exactly. I'm like, how do you know?
Yeah, how
deep
would
it
I know?
goes?
There is no
of
way to
telling.
know.
I do think it's possible for humans to fathom a lot more than what we know right now. Like, I feel like we're gonna learn a lot pretty soon about
I'm about
a
to
lot
say,
of different
it's like,
things.
I think humans are just a species that can continuously think. We're
Yeah.
always there's people out there that are always looking for something new and exciting.
Yeah.
The
If you
thrill
look-
seeker.
If you look at the timeline of the universe, we've been here for like if this was the timeline
Like
of the
one like
universe,
a billionth of the time.
it wouldn't even be like a size of my finger on the timeline.
It would
Like, it's
literally not even be a grain of sand, like on your
Not
finger
even.
either.
like we
We are-
haven't even been here. Like
We don't know
And
what's
when
going
you
on.
when you think about it, the amount of time we've been here to the amount of stuff we've learned about the universe.
We've got shit done.
We've
We do.
got
We got
done.
shit
We're gonna
done.
get that shit done.
yeah, we got.
We're gonna
people
know this shit before the universe ends.
Like
We just don't know how to comprehend it right now.
Yeah, we're still kind of growing. I feel like we're getting better.
well, at that point, it's like you
And
kind of
I do agree the
you-
factor that I don't feel like our brains will be able to comprehend it without a kickstart from
Technology.
from like
technology advancement.
or like previous generations' knowledge.
That too is a lot of the previous generation knowledge that we don't even have access to would be so useful.
Yeah. I mean,
Good question though.
so
Fucking
here
imagine if we had like the Aztecs fucking like bookkeeping like their knowledge. Like the
Yeah.
Aztecans.
Bro, I bet they'd
Aztecians?
throw us some weird ass shit that they figured out. Them and their fucking pyramids.
Like some died out species that could have been on this earth that we just don't know about. Like they have all the knowledge, but it's just like we haven't fucking
Well,
found it yet.
Some people thought the Mayan calendar was real, or like it is a real thing. But
Well, it's
people
real,
thought
but like
that
it wasn't
the end
accurate.
was coming. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't real accurate. Okay, so
The way
we
I
just
looked at it as, oh, it wasn't accurate. Well, it was accurate. It's just it stopped at that date because they didn't have any more of their lifespan to finish it. Probably.
Yeah,
Exactly.
probably.
okay.
Yeah,
So-
because then they spend like their physical time they're just like chipping into that, and they're just like, fuck it, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
2012, fuck it.
That's
Yeah, exactly. It's
Just like
that's
picking
that's
into it.
2,000 years from now.
Like just
There's no way
imagine
we
the
could
guy
pass
like
that.
picking it into the stones. Like I get the 2012. I'm like, I'm fucking done with this. Bye.
Yeah, maybe that was his detention. Is just scripting that.
Like have the prisoners write the calendar. No wonder it's so fucked.
Okay, so we just jumped from the future and what we think could happen. I'm gonna slow us back down.
To
I'm gonna bring us back.
Aztecs.
No, not. That's going backwards, motherfucker. We need
Yeah,
to
we just went
rewind.
from future to past in a
Now-
matter of
Okay,
seconds.
so we went from future to past. Now we're coming back to now. Okay. So going on with, all of these riots, all of this stuff with the cops, the
Oh
government.
Lord, you
everything
really
happening.
bringing us into reality now.
Yes.
Like now.
Now, the question is humanity headed in the right or wrong direction?
It really
I
depends
don't
on
know.
that depends on your perception.
It does. You're correct.
Like how you view the world. Like some people view like rioting as needed to change in order to steer it in their right direction, and some people like leave it how it is, how we have it set up. That's going in the right direction. I mean,
Is there like I guess that kind of furthers another question, like how do we know what the right direction is?
it's
We don't.
Like-
that's how you it's how you view the
really
world
don't.
and your beliefs.
Exactly, yeah, but like
It's always different. So
mhm,
There just so
Unless
happens
we
to be a
can
lot of
all-
people aligned for
I was about to
some
say,
reason.
yeah.
unless we can come together entirely,
That's
don't know
that's
what the right
never
direction
going to
is.
happen.
that's probably never going to happen.
That's
'cause
that's
everyone's
that's
a
going
different
back to what I was saying like towards the beginning. Like how are you going to get like all of humanity pointed towards one goal?
You can't.
Exactly.
You're going to have the
You
hard
gotta
heads.
trick them, just
Exactly.
like in that
Oh,
movie.
God damn it, Forky.
If you haven't seen it, I'm sorry.
God. It's just like that time back in World War II,
Which one?
What?
when they were back on track. Here we go.
We had a heated gamer moment there, dear viewer.
Kaz, you're no longer in charge of this because I'm taking away your talking stick.
Taking away his talk stick.
Dude, I'm bringing out good fucking questions. I'm making
You
y'all
were.
think. And then I just threw a little joke in there and it wasn't a good joke.
Sometimes
Oh,
it happens. Sometimes
Put
it
a
happens.
non-monetizable joke in there.
It's
What
okay.
I got
What
a little
it-
question. This is a
Okay.
general question. Can
Hmm.
I ask one?
Yeah.
Oh, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. What's
Lost
the
it.
difference between justice and revenge?
None. It's all justice. Justice is done in reaction. Well, fuck. There's no real. If you think about it, there's no real difference between justice and revenge. Revenge is like, let's say you're getting back at somebody for something they done. That's justice for whatever they did to you. Justice, in the way that we think of it, is society's revenge on somebody doing something to the people at large. There really is no way to think about it. There's no like difference between it. It's the same word. It's just the context is different.
Okay.
There you go, and that's a full-blown answer because I completely agree.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
All right. Okay. So, fuck, I can't even find this now. What is the benefit of consciousness from an evolutionary standpoint? Like, what is the benefit of us knowing that we're here from an evolutionary standpoint? Like, we are here. We know what's happened. We know what's going or not going to happen. Like, what's the point of us knowing here and that we like are animals and that we are like
That we were animals. That
we are
were
animals.
Like,
we are
okay,
animals.
Evolved.
we
Like-
have evolved.
Like, what's the
We're
point of
animals.
us knowing that like some people think that like we're above these other things and they think like, oh, that's an animal, that's a thing, but that's a human. But humans are animals. What's the point of us knowing that like we're animals, like we're here, we're like why we're here or anything like? Well, not why we're here. That's another thing.
Bitch, we're on the top of the food chain. What the fuck you mean?
We're still
I
animals.
think-
We're just animals at the top of the food chain.
I think though Kaz hit it right there though. Us knowing where we're at and knowing what we are gave us the drive to try to be something better. Because an animal, if you look at like a dog or a cat or whatever, it's in its own little lane. It runs off of its instincts and it's like it's the input from its senses, but it doesn't have any higher goals. It doesn't have any like end
Sure.
game, so to
It
say.
doesn't have.
Well,
They
on
don't-
that, on. Sorry, go.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
How can we define that we have consciousness?
Casey
Don't?
Oh fucking A. Oh, we opened it. Oh fuck.
No, wait. AC, what did you say?
How do we know that we have consciousness and animals do not?
I'm closing that box. I'm closing that box.
We're shutting this up. We're closing
Alright.
it down.
Kaz, what were
Shutting it
you gonna
down.
say?
Shutting it down.
You're like,
Shutting
no,
it down.
no.
I've lost it.
Alright,
Another
I'll
question.
I'll-
Jump
I'll-
into it.
I'll ask something big on that point. Why,
Fuck.
like, we've hit like the top. We know we're at the top of the food chain. Like, why would we think that we would need to progress though? Like, to go above
money
and
and
beyond.
power.
Money and
Money-
power.
Money and power.
It's going back to.
Well,
the
it's
thing
not
that
even
people-
that. It's like on an evolutionary standpoint, like evolution. That's like
there's-
to get
there's-
to the top
there's-
of the food chain. We're at the top
Yeah.
of the food chain.
So we're gunning for what's next. Now that we're
That's
now
the
that
que-
now
that's,
no
that's
not,
the
it's
million
not even
dollar
space.
question. What's next?
It's there's like it's not even really what's next. It's like once we go to the top of the food chain, it's we start trying to become the top of our own species. We try to be the best dude or the richest dude or the strongest dude or the fastest dude.
Trying
We
to s-
start exactly. We try to fucking like we try to
We're
be
at
the
that point now.
yeah.
That's what
We already are.
Yeah, we already are. Like, why do you think we have like sports? Why do you think there's billionaires? Why do you
Billionaires,
think
middle
there's...
class,
everything
lower
is
class.
competitive.
So when
Yeah.
you think about it after this, it's all space and trying to take planets
Yeah,
and colonize planets.
it's
gonna
and
be a
then
competition.
and then that's assuming we're at the top of the food chain in the universe.
Yeah.
We're at the top of
There
the
could
food
be-
chain on our planet.
There
Who
could be things out there
knows
eating
what-
things.
Yeah, so there's stuff out there purging stuff for all we know. We
They're just going
we
planet to
have
planet,
no
just
idea.
just deleting it, and
Making
then
sure
we're just
nothing's there.
we're just trying to figure out like, so is it out there?
Yeah. And meanwhile, there's some super weapon just harvesting the molten core of some poor bastard's home.
While we're just sitting here going, I wonder what's out there.
Just death lasers
Look at all
going
the pretty
everywhere in this
lights.
one solar system, and we're just like,
Huh?
We all
It
think
just-
the
and
sun.
while we're-
like,
while we're
do,
just
do
waiting
animals
for-
have
for some-
consciousness?
well, we're just like waiting for like this giant like this fucking death laser to finally come around to us. We're just like, oh,
so it does exist.
Oh shit!
So
we were- fuck.
well, at that point
Damn,
you're
little-
dead.
Little late.
Okay.
This is a
Um,
bit of a bit of a different question, bit of a different
I
track.
swear to
here.
God, if it has anything to do with cum.
Uh,
That's how you started this thing. It's not how I'm ending it.
We opened the show
Um,
like that. Let's not go back.
Yeah, let's not
and
go
it all
back.
comes full circle.
No! No!
Can
do
we
you-
spin the planet? Slow down.
Can we
the
make the
rotation.
day longer if everybody comes to the right? All right, but no, for real.
Alright.
Do you think there are some things that you should not be allowed to joke about?
No.
Well,
No.
Hell yes.
No.
my man.
I say no, but
There.
You have to
Where
you
is
you
it?
have to read the room.
Yeah,
read the room.
Yes, yeah.
You need to know the
That-
right time to make
that-
a joke.
that's sort of like what I forgot the comedian who said Bill Burr. Like
Yeah.
people, like he said that people were coming for him for jokes that he made in the past, and he made the argument like, a comedian's job is to toe the line between like wrong and right jokes, and back then the line was here, and now the line's moved along, and you're trying to get me on shit that when the line was back there, when the line's
Yeah.
up here, it's like you
Exactly.
can't do that.
So it's like Poland has a thing where you can't talk about about Auschwitz and the
And that
Holocaust.
whole thing. Yeah.
That's a thing. That's like the whole thing there. Like, we think that it shouldn't be allowed to determine what someone can joke about. When in Poland, they've already made it a thing. You can't even talk about it. You get caught talking about it, you go to jail.
I think we should be able to talk about it because we need to learn from it. But
Yeah.
Exactly.
and
Well, then,
people are gonna make jokes about it because people are comedians and that's their job.
At that
Job is
point,
to make people laugh.
at
And
that
if you can
point, you're
make people
trying to.
laugh
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
And besides, laughter cures all things. Like if you have something
It can't cure my
really-
cancer.
true. Well, you know what I mean. Like
it'll help you out a little.
if you can't laugh at something, then you're allowing that thing or that idea to have power over you, and you're allowing it to get inside of your head. If you can laugh at it, you can look at it from a different perspective and see it from a like a I don't know, like if you can laugh at something, you can look at something differently. Like that's the whole thing with 9/11 jokes. Like 9/11 was probably aside from it was awful. It's probably one of the biggest tragedies. It is one of the biggest tragedies that has ever happened in this country. But if we let that like just drag us down and degrade us and depress us and turn it into this hush hush thing, like, oh, we don't talk about that day. Like we wouldn't be as we wouldn't be proud Americans. Like if we can't laugh about tragedies or well, that came out a little bit wrong. But you know what I mean?
We can't be American unless we can joke about tragedy.
we're like we by laughing at it and by having a sense of humor about it while still preserving still having reverence for it, we undermine what those terrorists set out to do, which is to kick us in the teeth and make us feel scared. And by being able to make jokes about it and at least seeing the humor in it, we're undermining all the work that they did, while not like, letting those lives go to vain.
Treats what they did wrong as a joke, not
Mhm.
what was
Yeah.
like what happened.
Not what happened. Yeah, not the deaths. Because you make a 9/11 joke, you're not joking about the people who died. Like that's just fucked
No,
up.
yeah,
Like
you're
you're
never
not like
making a
Yeah.
joke about that.
yeah, like it's
You're
All the
making a
good
joke of
jokes
the
are always
situation.
about everything else.
Oh,
Like hell, a lot of the good jokes aren't even about the situation; they're about the people who make conspiracies about it.
indeed, yeah.
Usually.
So
Usually.
like,
Which
you can't get too mad at it.
Which is a whole nother topic.
Yes.
that's a whole ass other topic.
That's a whole
Fucking-
episode.
Silver, let me ask, how long have we been going?
59
time
minutes
am I
and
on?
55 seconds.
Oh, Oh God.
Well, we just hit an hour,
That's
boys.
all. There you go.
There's an
There it
hour.
is. There it is, folks. You get an hour of questionable content.
Thank you.
You enjoyed.
Very fucking questionable.
Yep. That. about to
Don't
say, we're
forget-
gonna-
On the September 30th, everyone aim to the right.
Yeah. We're gonna see if we can extend the day by an hour.
What time
Alright.
and what time zone?
We're doing it. October is now no nut November. There will be a
Oh
Jo-
no.
On
Join-
December 1st. Right when
Oh,
everybody
no.
Right?
everybody
Right.
Alright.
south.
Alright. Alright.
People are gonna
Okay.
do this. 'cause
Alright,
they'll
we
watch-
started it with cum, we're ending it with cum.
We're ending
ended
it
it
with
with-
cum.
Oh,
Thank
Alright.
you, everyone, for
thank you guys for
calling
watching.
in.
Thank you, dear viewer.
Thank you, 4K
Got-
AC, Big Moment Silver. This was a great podcast. I think we had
Oh,
a
yeah.
Make
bunch
sure-
of fun on this.
Make
This
sure to
was a good
follow
one.
us on Comrades Gate, on our Twitter, Comrades Gate, comradesgate.com. Go there, Discord invite. You go to our YouTube channel, Comrades Gate. Just
Hit
everything, anything,
Hit-
hit our
all
Instagram,
the
Comrades
buttons.
Gate.
Come on, give me.
Yes.
I need coin. Give me coin.
Give me
the
coin.
coin, man.
All right,
Coin.
all right,
Coin.
y'all.
Peace out, boys.
Peace out.